To you. I'm a girl who's recovering from daddy issues, and so I've been my story has been made public by me. Yeah, so yeah, guys are reaching out to me, like-minded, or people who are still hurting and deeply wounded by their parents are reaching out to me to to let them know how I managed to forgive my father, because I did forgive my father. Disregard my mask here is used to cover the cleavage so that you listen to the message. Now, let's start by acknowledging the biggest elephant in the room, which is it is not glorified to be an absentee father. At just because you know they're going to forgive you anyway one day, just like Winnie Wadera did forgive her father. Men, man up and take responsibility for your child. Women, woman up and take responsibility for your child. You might have issues with your partner, but you don't have issues with your child. I don't care what disagreement you have, how heated the fight is between you two as partners, but it should not affect your child, because guess what? It affects watoto. It affects the children more. Okay, it affects the children more. So you have to be present in your child's life. Find a way. We're going to do another video on that another time, but find a way to be present in your child's life. So, to every child that needs to forgive their parent for their own sake, for your own well-being sake, for your own health sake, for your own mental peace sake, because we have a lot of children going through depression. We have a lot of children going through, they have suppressed themselves. They are going through low self-esteem. Children who are constantly feeling unloved, incomplete. They always go over and above to try to overprove themselves, because daddy did not acknowledge me, mommy did not acknowledge me, they left me, they didn't love me. So you are constantly answering to a question you don't know. You want validation, affirmation, confirmation, acceptance, and all that. Listen, children like those, the day you want to make peace with your parent who did you wrong, because they did you wrong, right? They are obliged to be present in your life. So if they intentionally were absent, they did you wrong. I have to start by saying that forgiveness is hard. Forgiveness is difficult, and there's no such thing as, oh my god, you're so strong, oh, for you to be able to do, wow. There's no wow about it. It's such a struggle. It's such a struggle. So yes, if you're struggling with it, you are normal. If you're hurt, you are valid. If you're feeling like you want to kill them, you are right. Just don't do it. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be tough. It's tough, man. So I did what was best for my spiritual conscience. That's why I decided to forgive my father. It's something I'd been thinking about. So I have been thinking to forgive my father for 11 years. Yeah, just to let you know that if you're struggling, you're valid. I didn't wake up one day and forgive my father. No, it took 11 years. It took 11 years, and he didn't do anything. He didn't trigger. He didn't call me. He didn't. For 11 years, my father never called me. Okay, I didn't call my father too, so we are both at fault here. So just want to know that I bowed to the embarrassment, to the shame, and I said, I'm going to take the bull by its horn. What you could say, be the bigger person. So I will put down my ego, I'll put down my pride, and I will make the first call. And that's what I did. And we're not focusing on him, we're not talking about him, we're not discussing him. Okay, I'm not here to, again, repeatedly I say, I'm not here to paint him in a bad light. We are talking about me. So but there are things that I can't say without mentioning him, you understand, because it's me and him. So yeah, the reason I'm telling you that he never called me, he never stretched an olive branch, is so that you know that some people you're going to forgive without them never apologizing. They may never say sorry, they may never apologize, they may never trigger you to reach out, to communicate, to call, to text. You will take the initiative. It's about you, so you will take the initiative. So in case you're asking, what if he doesn't receive me, doesn't welcome me? What if he says something negative? I will be broken, I will be shattered. Yeah, the first time you'll be shattered, because you never know how he will react. You're not in control of how someone reacts. So some people are just indifferent. Whether you go, you come back, they're just indifferent. Some people are just cold. Some people are mean. Some people are also warm. Some people will be excited. They'll welcome you home, make you part of the family, introduce you to your siblings in case there are any that developed out of, after you left. Things like those after your separation. So People really react differently, so you cannot control someone's reaction. You just have to be open. So you have to make up your mind that regardless of how it turns out, I will be okay. God help me to be okay. Your job is not to be welcomed back in the family. Your job is not to be hugged or loved. Your job is to come with your full self-esteem ready, prepared, pre-prepared, all right? Your job is to extend your olive branch, say what you need to say, make amends, and leave feeling better. Because again, reconnection does not mean access. That's another reality. What if they were violent? That's why you were separated. Okay, some people were sexually abused by their dads. That's why they moved away. Some people were physically abused by their moms. That's why they moved. So you don't have to give access just because you reconnect. And the other extremely important point is that I don't know if people assume that I'm over it, because I'm not. Oh man, oh man. It's over 28 years of a formed opinion about someone. That doesn't go away in a month. That doesn't go away in a week. That doesn't go away in a year. It is going to be a process. Repeat after me, a process. That is the reality. But I thank God because it's a process from a healed point of view, not from a hurting point of view. All right? You can look at a wound when it's still hurting. You can also look at a wound when it's healed. But at the end of the day, the scar is still there. Whether it's hurting or healing, doesn't take the scar away. So I'm looking at my process as a scar after healing. So that means there are things I have to reprogram my mind to do. Like to be calling my father. It's something I never did for 11 years plus. Another maybe 90, a total of 28 years. I never called him. I never talked to him. Never saw him. For 28, close to 28 years, I never saw him. So learning to be paying him a visit. Learning to be calling him. Learning to be texting him. Because that's what a real relationship is like. Right? You have to talk to someone, okay? So in simple terms, you're going to learn to force your mind, force your heart to behave differently towards them. You're going to learn to be texting them more often. You're going to teach your heart to feel differently towards them. When you remember them, what kind of things do you like to remember? That shapes your opinion about them. So, what images of them do you have? So you have to shift that. You have to change that. You have to be more intentional with your actions, because if you say, the day I feel like calling them is the day I call them, it won't happen because you naturally do not feel like feeling them. You resist them. So you're going to be more intentional. It's not going to be a feeling issue. It's going to be an action issue. So you write down every once a month, I'm going to call them. Every twice a week, I'm going to call them. It depends on really your relationship with them and how you want to make this relationship work. But the beauty really is that the burden of forgiveness is much lighter than the burden of pain and holding someone in your heart and carrying people in your spirit and just carrying them like a cross. They are so heavy in your heart, in your mind. Release them. Release them so that your Father in heaven will release you too. Forgive them so that your Father in heaven will forgive you too. Listen, one of the things that really drove me to forgive my father, one of the things, was that I'm equally a bad person. I'm a sinner. I sin against my heavenly Father. Honestly, I don't deserve the mercy he shows me. I don't deserve it because I'm a bad person. Okawinch watch, I will say I will never repeat. I will still repeat, but he still forgives me. Why not forgive someone? Let me go ahead and do it. So don't stop yourself because of excuses that what if. Just try. Dip your foot into the water, see how deep it is. Just try. You will never know until you try. So try. Okay?